Hey guys, it's May, and in this little video, I just want to talk for a moment about the color green. So I wonder if you've ever noticed the fact that green reassembled or inverted is energy, Green, and then energy, Energy, Y pronounced E, just like in green, and a Y often is kind of a type of vowel to the L vowel, but it's not also, right? It's one of those that's kind of in limbo between vowel and consonant. So Y, inner G, and green. And so what's interesting to me is that, especially, God, for how long have we been inundated with all the climate type related stuff, right? Green, the G summit, the green. Um, so green, like mythologically and astrologically speaking, is associated with Venus. And Venus, interestingly enough, I did a video on this actually, but the sound came out kind of bad. But so Venus, interestingly, is 7. It's I am certain that Venus represents the number 7. So even though it's a U and a V, vowels are interchangeable. And any deep study of the occult and the esoteric knowledge, you will learn that vowels are interchangeable in our strict 26 symbol. So you have a generator, you have your heart. Your heart, the heart is actually the most powerful generator of all energy related systems in this whole construct, in this whole reality, this whole matrix is the human heart. So that's like your generator, right? Your gene rater, right? Your energy, right? Your gene in G, energy. So so anyway, so what's interesting is that that we could say that could qualify as your inner G, right? So also, I believe that the letter G, which is symbolic of the Freemasons, has several connotations. I do believe that it's connected to the generator of the heart, but also to gnosis, which means to know. And also, G is the 7th letter of the alphabet, alpha beta system, right, in which we communicate, right? So, which are waves, the whole thing. And I just want to say, not to sidetrack, but I talk about this a lot, but so I don't subscribe to the idea that planets are rocks spinning in space nonsense. I mean, that's just absolutely ridiculous. How would Venus ever have remotely have any effect on you being millions of miles away? That doesn't make no sense. I mean, it's just idiotic. The whole thing, the whole idea of anyone, if you, I mean, to believe in astronomy based on current, like NASA type status, is astronomy, astrology, and religion. Good God, you've got to wipe away all logic and reason to believe in all three of these. And that they are as you are told, which they aren't. So the luminaries, the planetary celestial bodies, just like the constellations, in which we want to activate with our consciousness and connect to etherically. The thing is they're right connected to us, right above us. They're part of you. I mean, they're part of you. How can your head be related to Mars Ram, and be, well, good Lord, what does it say? 50 million miles away. I mean, it's just, God, this place is so stupid sometimes. It's just so stupid. I don't like to express my personal thoughts a lot of times. I just want to stick with giving you some braingasms and having you expand your knowledge in an abstract sense. But my goodness, it's just so stupid. So, and I don't know if that just stems from just abstract thought, thinking outside of this box. You know, if it's related to my activation, a level of clairvoyance in which I know that I have related to the cosmos. I believe in inner space, not outer space. So I mean, is it that, you know? I'm not sure, but it just defies all logic and reason to believe that there are these rocks in space that would bear any effect on the little WHOman. Like, this is just nonsensical. So anyway, not to get off on that, but Venus, interestingly enough, rules Taurus. And Taurus, the gemstone is emerald, of course. So Venus rules the green and the agriculture, and so nature very much in that sense, right? The earth and the air, Libra and Taurus. And so the thing is, you have to think like those that, and I'm not saying that there's elite societies that run this entire construct, because that's impossible. It's impossible for any humans. Some sort of black magic, supernatural, divine, quantum system has constructed this plane that is connected directly to us, to the God that within you in your own consciousness. So it requires all the mechanisms inside of your brain, including your heart, which is emanated from the brain, right? So the whole system, the way you're designed, it reveals to you that you have created a macrocosm perception outside of yourself directly related to you. That's why the WHOman is the body, it is analogous to the earth. The earth is the body when you look at astrology or the zodiac, right? You have earth, wind, fire. So the earth is the body. So that, you know, you have all elements, obviously, right? Do they not? Do you not contain all elements? Of course you do. So, and that's related to the luminaries, the celestial bodies. And inside the brain, you have connections to the constellations, by way of, it's a symbiotic relationship, which most people will likely never tap into, never, their whole lifetime. And that's why they'll just keep repeating, coming back here and never advancing or elevating. But the idea here is, for those of us who want enlightenment and activation, is to connect to your higher outer observatory, if you will, self, based in the constellations, the cosmos, and the luminary that is you. It's just an outer aspect of you. And well, obviously we can't see that. We're limited to the five senses. However, you can absolutely activate, right? And I said this in a previous video about Jacob's ladder and climbing the 33 level spine, right, to the pineal, and cracking open that code. Well, you can absolutely do that, and you do that through reverie, meditation. It doesn't have to be Indian style in a group, you know, nothing, just absolute devotion and thought on your part, whatever that means to you, you know, in isolation. And through creativity, automatic writing, channeling through automatic writing, pen to paper. And the thing is the more you do this, the more you realize that these waveforms are just part of you. You're just emanating it through perception. That includes the Venus, the green, which is the topic of this video, because I've thought about this for a while. So all the elites, as I was saying, who didn't create this construct, they just have knowledge. That's the only thing that they have, which we do too. So, you know what I mean? They just have access to knowledge, which I believe to be from other dimensional planes. Because once you realize there's no such thing as linear time, then you know that history, you realize what a farce, which most of you probably already know, that what a farce history is, right? So let the farce be with you, right? And I just did a video on that. But the thing is they do have knowledge to for sure, to documents and records, Vatican type knowledge hidden away, and that's what the occult means, is hidden. Like the type of people that I've flown for years, I've always known that they have access to this knowledge. And that's all that occult is just hidden knowledge. That's all that it is, that we can find. And all of it? No, no. But that's where you get into accessing the higher levels of consciousness. There's no way that they would allow you I mean, through a very WHOman sense, by investigation, have access. But you absolutely can by cracking open that pineal and that third eye. So what I find interesting is the clues we get often in books and movies, like The Wizard of Oz, the Emerald City, right? And Emerald is Venus. The green part of this movie is represented by Venus, as all deities are worshipped by the occultists, by the cult. So they're all worshipped in different ways. Hermeticism, Mercury, Mars, all of them. Saturn, of course. So here's the thing: is they push certain in a type of idolatry, in a type of worshiping. They will push certain terminology like green, right? Like energy, free energy, and all their energy stuff, right? So we can access. We have this innate ability that they try, the lower dimensional forces, that's all it is. There's nothing negative or mean or fear-based or panic or paranoia or oh my God, nothing like that. Not anything like that. There is no fear at all. And that is part of your elevation and how you activate and latch on to those supernatural powers which are innate inside of you, is by not fearing anything. You are fearless. It's the only way, essentially, to fly in this situation in which we are kind of pushed down, if you will, and not in a prison sense, but they want you focused. They want to download and store our consciousness with their materials. They want our software stored with their whether it's Netflix movies, whether it's social media, watching ridiculous people in our gadgets doing dances. I mean, God, what a waste of time that is. So they want you looking at all that nonsense, right? Because you're storing it as data inside your conscious. But if you log into the analog and you devote more time in ENER-G, your ENER-G, your generator, your generator, if you devote more time to pen to paper and to writing or sketching or gardening, doing things with your hands, and that, you know what? Doing things with your hands is a great way to meditate. Have you ever noticed how you get so lost? I know I do with painting. You get just so lost in the moment. And that's where your true essence lies. That's when you're making your consciousness and that outer self that is dying for adventure here. That's where you make that aspect of yourself, which is your true essence, your orb. That's where it is so happy and feeling in its element. When we do the comfortably numb rituals, kneeling our head down, devoted to the Saturnian-based gadgets, the conology, right? Well, fine, we all have to do that to some degree, right? You have to, even just to take care of business. I know, I understand that. But what you want is to access your powers, which are dormant inside of you. You want to log into that analog and feel the inner G, right? Through activation, and feel those powerful forces in your meditative, reflective state, which you will, which you should make, however you have to do it, a certain amount of time each day. Wherever, whenever, even if it's in the bathtub, like in a bubble bath, or in the shower, whatever. But the thing is that's your time. You're talking to it. Yes, I talk to the luminaries. Absolutely. Absolutely. They're just an extension of you. And so they're part of you. You just can't see them. But none of this would exist, which you're decoding through your pupils. None of this would exist without those waveforms, without these colors. And as bad as things can get, and we have our own personal struggles, we all do, but there is still beauty, and there's beauty in green, right? There's a beauty in the energy. And it's so amazing to be around nature and to just watch and feel the trees and the beings and all this, the green, right? And how we are connected to that. And it's not like I'm the first person who ever told you that. You've heard that before. But I want you to think about it in a different light, almost like just because remember that you have created it. You are the all-powerful, the all-being, the all-knowing. That is why in the Bible as well it says the kingdom of God is within you. He never tells you to follow him if you read about Jesus, which Jesus in French, if anyone knows, that there's a quiz. What is the French word? What is French for when you want to say I am? It's and I'm probably going to pronounce it wrong, but it's je suis. I am. Jesus is I am. That means that is you. You have the exact mechanisms in your brain, right? And you have in the mind, the software, you have everything, all the components needed to access consciousness and to feel your sun-based consciousness in the Son of God sense. That is you. That is you. And I actually have a lot of astrotheology based and just biblical type verses written in notebooks and things that I've read. And I will relay more of those to you, because a lot of people, I think, get into the victimhood and the sort of surrender of the world is bigger than me and defeatism. And that is what I don't want for you and what I want to help you with. Because I have felt an elevated state for quite some time now. And the feelings, the sparks of electricity that I feel are just out of this world, and this connection. It can be quite isolating sometimes. And that's why I write everything in my notebooks. And that's why I started the channel, because I just needed a place to release this. But what I wanted to say too, as far as Venus and the energy that is within inside of you, you're just emanating this. So she is a part of you, and that is what the green is about. And you notice, I said this in a video and I had to take it down because the sound was too bad. But do you notice how on the can of a 7-Up, what color is it? It's green. It's green. What color is the can of Sprite? Sprite is just spirit. It's an electric spark. You are a Sprite. You are a spirit. It's green, right? Do you get the connections? I mean, and if you say the word Venus, if you reassemble, it's 7, right? And from what I've read in a couple of occult books, I don't know if it was Manly P. Hall, but I have read, no, it was a different one, but I have read that Venus creates a type of 7-pointed figure, like a star. So over the span of her orbit, which is just right outside of you, because you are an orb. I don't know. It's so funny to me, just the way we're supposed to believe all this ridiculous nonsense. If they say it's far, that means it's close. If they go low, you go high. I mean, if they are telling you the numbers that they give you, which are, think about how much they say, even the like deficit in numbers, population. I can't. It's okay. Okay, May, we heard you're okay. It's aggravating sometimes, but it's okay. So the thing is that's all I want to say. I want to say that there is a connection, and they do worship the deities. But we can take this knowledge and better understand it in our own personal way. Is all that I mean. So, and that is by activating consciousness. And that is that's the right hemisphere, and that is sitting at the right hand of the Father. Okay, there's all kinds of clues in the biblical sense about the right side. So I will stop there because I went longer than I meant to. I always do, but I just have so much to say, and it's not so easy, to be honest, to just sit and talk to yourself. So I will stop there, and that was just the topic of this little video, and more in the next one. I love to see your comments, and thanks for listening.